troubles are just an inevitability of life. And I want to talk about that, and I hope give you some encouragement, because hard times often do represent opportunity, and they cause people to change their life, improve themselves. Many times troubles cause people to turn to God. I think about Helen Keller, very famously. My grandmother actually met Helen Keller in Kansas City many, many decades ago. I'm sure you know the story of Helen Keller and her blindness, and people had just given up this precious child for being hopeless, and Anne Sullivan invested, and Helen Keller became an incredible person in the 20th century that improved the lives of many, inspired so many. Helen Keller said the world is full of suffering, but the world is also full of the overcoming of suffering, and that's true. You know, one of my favorite authors is Charles Dickens, and Dickens said that struggles and suffering had been his, quote, strongest teacher. He said, suffering has broken me and bent me, but I hope has made me into a better shape. And that's one of the realities that struggles, and we're in the middle of a worldwide struggle right now, but it really can represent opportunity. Where we're recording in central North Carolina, not far away, is a place called Grove, very famous for making a lot of pottery. And I've been down there numerous times to meet people, to visit some of the potters, to speak in churches around there. And, you know, they take the clay, and the terracotta clay is made into pots. And what they'll do, they'll make these flower pots and other types of things. They'll set them in the sun, and the warmth of the sun will turn the terracotta into a hard pot. Not very tough to understand that. But to make fine china, to make porcelain, they have to put the clay in the kiln and subject it to white, hot, scorching temperatures. And the clay pot is one thing, but the priceless porcelain is made in the hottest fires of testing and purification and purging. Now, it's not hard to connect these dots. Life's greatest struggles often purify us and make us into something better than we even knew we could be. And you might say, well, gee, you know, I'm pretty okay being just a terracotta pot. I'm not wanting to get heated up to the degree that it would turn me into porcelain or something like that. But here are the principles that I think we need to glean from the times that we're in right now. Look, none of us get to choose the experiences that we really go through in terms of struggle and stress and testing. We can't control the externals, but what we can control with God's help and with a great resolve is how we respond. Here are three principles. I want to give you a little illustration. Unavoidable problems, and then the unique opportunities, and then the perspective. Unavoidable, opportunity, perspective. Problems are unavoidable, but the opportunity represented therein, that's a guarantee. Every challenge you face really is an opportunity, and it all boils down to perspective. Am I going to let this improve me and stretch me? Am I going to find the ways to make this thing better, or am I going to get bitter and make it worse?